Hey, you made it into the third month on the FatherSeekers 100 Challenge. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Keep going. I want to talk to you today about being a good husband. So let's talk about today reference points. If you don't know, you don't know until you learn. Here's the reality. There's pressure on men simply just to be good men. And many men fight that battle and push hard to do that. And they're good men, but it's a struggle. And I think if we're really honest, the struggle gets a little bit more difficult every day. But when you multiply that by trying to be a good man and a good husband and probably a good father, either now or someday, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to know everything, to do everything, to be at work, to provide for the family, to rest, to date your wife, to spend time with your kids, to get time with your friends, your guys that you hang out with. That's a lot of hours in a day, and all of those things are important. But there's a rhythm that comes to all this, and if you don't have a reference point to go to for that, you don't have a place that you can say, hey, this is a really good pattern that I've observed in the past, or I really know somebody that's really good at this part that can teach me how to be a good man, a good dad. If you don't have that, you have to develop that skill in your life. You have to have a reference point to say, here's my model, here's the thing that I'm going to practice, here's what I'm going to move forward with. So when we talk about reference points, we have to understand that first, they're just a place to look at to get started. They're not a place to live. They're not a place to camp out. They're not probably everything about that reference point is not everything that you should do for the rest of your lives, but it's a place to start, to learn how to be a good man, but then especially how to be a good husband. There's a lot to being a good man and a good husband. We've got to have a starting place, a reference point. Second thing that we have to do in this is to move forward and get some wins under our belt. To get wins under our belt, there has to be some traction, some time, some losses, some learning opportunities, but there's still wins. And we celebrate those wins because as we graduate and we scale up and we grow up, we get to this other reference point where we can look back and we can now say, I started here, but here I am today. Now, here's the interesting thing about reference points. Once you start and you get past that place and you develop another reference point and you're on your way to developing your third reference point, your reference points now become monuments of your success. So you're developing this pathway, this skill set to move forward and get wins under your belt. Being a good husband and a good man are tied together. They're two different skill sets, but they're really, really important. And you have to, I have to, we have to, it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been a husband or a dad. You have to have reference points that you can scale your growth, your success, and you can evaluate properly where you've been, where you've come from, what you've learned, and most certainly what you need to learn in the future and where you need to go. All right, develop reference points.